the game from any seat with different food and drink specials every night. Try the Blue Ribbon Reuben Sandwich or the Prime Rib French Dip or any of their famous chicken lips. That's Tanner's Bar and Grill at 30th and Yankee Hill.
Whether you're booking a trip to Lincoln for a football game or a volleyball weekend, the Scarlet Hotel at Innovation Campus is the place for you. The Scarlet Hotel is special on many levels, from the delicious Well and Good restaurant on the main floor to the coolest rooftop patio bar in Lincoln, the Barred Owl, on the top floor of the hotel with great views of the city and one of the coolest drink menus. Book your stay or book a staycation today at scarlethotelnebraska.com.
Sunday morning. It's quiet. Not in a weird, too quiet way. Calm, peaceful, tranquil. You pour yourself that cup of coffee. You slice yourself a hearty chunk of one of Beatrice Bakery's breakfast breads. Now, maybe you're an apple streusel guy. Nothing wrong with that. I can respect that. Personally, I'm a turtle nut man. Something about those pecans. But the real ones know, don't sleep on that date nut bread. Sweet, but not too sweet. Nutty, not overly. The perfect morning treat. Beatrice Bakery. Online at beatricebakery.com. Welcome to our world of yum.
If your home isn't delivering the year-round comfort you expect, call the experts at Bryant. Warm and cool, comfort and confidence. Bryant Air Conditioning and Heating. Call 467-1111.
WWE Friday Night SmackDown returns to Lincoln. January 12th, 6:45 p.m. Pinnacle Bank Arena.
Let's throw down right now.
See Rey Mysterio, LA Knight, Bobby Lashley, The Street Profits, Charlotte Flair, Io Sky, Carlito, and more. It's WWE's Friday Night SmackDown in Lincoln, January 12th. Tickets start at $25 and on sale now. Ticketmaster.
Working at Continental in Lincoln isn't a job, it's a career. And right now, they've raised wages again, and they're hiring for production operators at $24.62 per hour, which grows to $28.97 per hour within 3 years. Skilled trade positions now start at $33.36 per hour, with opportunities to make more based on certifications. Continental also has salary jobs available and great benefits, plus medical and prescription costs at very low premiums. Dental, vision, and life insurance are offered at no premium cost to the associates, with increased bonuses and vacation for new hires. To learn more or apply, go to continentaljobs.com with keyword Lincoln. Come work at Continental today.
93.7 The Ticket. Fox KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, expecting some areas of dense fog this morning. Then eventually we'll see mostly sunny skies this afternoon. We'll see a high around 53. Tonight, mainly clear skies with a low around 32. And tomorrow's more patchy fog possible in the morning. Then we'll see partly sunny skies for the afternoon. We'll see a high around 58. Meteorologist Kyle Klecker for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
This is On the Block with Strick and Austin. Nebraska Basketball Hall of Famer and 9-year NBA vet, Erick Strickland.
Strickland for three! And you're going to go out of here as the Big 8 tournament champion.
Middle school basketball coaching legend and Duke basketball shooting coach in his mind, Austin Orman. Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. On air and online at theticketfm.com. Brought to you by Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul. This is On the Block with Strick and Austin.
Welcome to it on a Friday. 2 hours for us before we head into our Christmas weekend. I'm Austin Norman, joined by Mr. Erick Strickland. Stricky, how are you on this beautiful Friday, my man?
In the building, baby. Even though I'm not in the building, I'm in the building. It is a good Friday. Christmas is right around the corner. Holiday season is right around the corner. Families are trying to get together, unite. And you, my friend, are the bearer of a new family. You've got one of the best gifts that you can ever imagine. That is a new baby boy that has arrived. Baby Husker, baby Herbie. He has arrived. And I know that you guys are looking forward to spending your first Christmas with him. Shout out to everybody else listening as well. Just know this. We here on the block, we love you. We appreciate you. We're grateful for you. And we're hoping that you're able to have a wonderful, wonderful holiday with you and yours this holiday Christmas. A year's passed. This is great, man. We're going to have another year to pass.
Amen to that. On the text line, let me know, 402-464-5685. What do I need to know about Christmas with a newborn? Having never done it before. I mean, he's not quite 3 months old yet. What do I need to know? What should I expect? Obviously, I'll be opening plenty of gifts for him. I know to expect that much. But Strick, we'll get to this a little bit later, but before we get to the actual games that are going on, did you ever play in an NBA Christmas Day game?
I've got to say I have, and I want to say it was with the Knicks. The Knicks, I think we had one, and maybe Boston, but I can't say for sure. It may have been Boston, but I don't think so. I do remember. I think we did with the Knicks though.
That's awesome. I want your thoughts on that a little bit more later once we get into, you know, what goes into playing on Christmas Day, but we got plenty to get to.
No, wait, real quick, Austin. I do got to say this. I think I do remember when I think was with Vancouver, we weren't necessarily playing on Christmas, but we were on the road. We was like on a long road trip. So we were away from home on Christmas. So I do remember something like that.
Let's just jump into that while we're here. Do you like big leagues, NFL, NBA, even some, you know, college sports I think have in the past? Do you like them playing on Christmas, or would you rather have them, you know, take the 24th and 25th off before jumping back into it?
So here's the thing. I understand it, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's probably going to be one of your biggest viewing days because of the fact that you've got family, you've got food, and then you've got the festivities of a game and sitting and supporting and cheering or just watching as a casual viewer. It's a great way for the sports, leagues to gather and maybe glean the casual fan, because the fanatic fan is going to be in and involved. They're going to be supporting whoever it is, the Lakers or, you know, whatever team is playing. They're going to be supporting them. But that's a time for these sports leagues to capture the casual fan as they're sitting there and watching and observing. So I get it. I understand the business of it and the business behind it. I'm not going to say that I necessarily like it, but it is kind of cool. It's kind of fun to just kind of be with your family and be sitting in the living room and chopping it up, having a good time and laughing and giggling, playing games or whatever. And then the game's on. I mean, it's pretty cool, but I'm not going to say it's, you know, something that I would like if I had to do it.
That's kind of where I was coming at it from too, is that as a fan, someone on the outside, it's nice to have that option there. Nice to have something to, you know, come around together, especially if you're a fan of one of the teams, right? If the game's just on in the background, it's nice to have. It's cool that it's there. And of course, if you're, you know, like you were saying, a diehard fan, you're invested, you're going to watch anyways. But I don't know, maybe big picture, even if I'm with you where I understand why they do it, just how well they can capture, you know, that general audience. I kind of wish, and you can speak to this too, having, you know, that professional mindset, having been there, gone through it all. I kind of wish that, you know, guys who are in your shoes did have like another like 4-day break where they didn't play the 23rd, 24th, 25th, and 26th mini all-star break, maybe. But I mean, it's Christmas. Come on, get them home, you know, spend time with their family. You've been through almost 30 games at this point now. That's, you know, just about halfway through the season. I would like to see, you know, the NBA take 4 days off. I would like to see the NFL, you know, maybe on those years where games do fall on, or Christmas does fall on Sunday, that's one thing, because you don't want to, you know, overload a Monday slate necessarily. But I don't know. I just kind of wish that we'd take it off, you know, really remember like, hey, this is Christmas. Let's spend this time with family, entertain each other with cards and stuff, more so than sit around a TV and rely on that to maybe get out of family time sometimes.
Yeah, I think that is another way to view it and to take it. You know, obviously that would have to be something CBA negotiated and talked about. But here's where I get what you're saying also, because I was just out and about earlier today with Cluster and we were talking to some facilities, and some of the questions that we asked them for our global open wound care. And when we're out meeting with them and talking with the nurses, and then you see those assisted living facilities and, you know, different healthcare facilities, it doesn't matter whether it be in a hospital or whatever. I've got to give a hand clap. I've got to give a, you know, praise bow to those workers, those nurses, those doctors, those caregivers, also those, you know, workers that are in the police and firefighters and just all of them, the unsung heroes that we don't necessarily always just see, but we know they're there and they're ready and they're available. I want to shout out to them today because you really get a chance to see that their work doesn't end. So in light of that, there's a balance, right? Because there's the hard work that's being done by those caregivers in this time and in this season to make sure those families that are struggling or seriously injured or dealing with, whatever memory loss or problems, that those family members are being cared for as well, or loved ones, right? But then there's that other side. And this is why I think the sports side, takes a piece of that, because it allows you to just kind of decompress or blow that stuff out and not. So there's two sides to that coin. And so I that's where I think it can be a positive in the household. It can be a positive for those individuals sitting up in there, just sitting with whoever may come in and spend time with them over the holidays, just to do something together and just sit there and watch a game or a team that they may love. Not all of them love sports, but it could be something for them to do. And so that's why I think it may be okay.
I like that perspective. You definitely gave me something to chew on there. I appreciate these conversations that we have, and I totally get the thanks and echo everything you said for, those first responders, those nurses, those assisted living care facility, workers. My wife's a nurse, so I totally get that feeling. I've been through it. I know what that's like. I'm blessed that she's still on maternity leave right now, so she'll be able to spend this time, with us, with the family, with Beckett, to witness his first Christmas. Even if he doesn't remember it, he doesn't know. I'm excited, and I feel, like I said, very blessed that she'll be able to, spend that time with us this year before she's, back to the grind for New Year's. But that's just how it goes. So let us know your Christmas plans on the text line 402-464-5685. Well, we have a few minutes here, Strick. Let's dive into some sports. It was early National Signing Day on Wednesday. We know the haul that Nebraska had. There are a couple schools, though, that I think are very much worth mentioning in the big picture, grand scheme of recruiting. The first one that comes to mind for me, Strick, is Florida State. Now, 2 out of the last 3 years, they've lost the top defensive back in a class. They lose Travis Hunter, who was committed to them, but then followed Deion Sanders to Jackson State. We know the relationship there and why that happened. And then just this year, they lose KJ Bolden, who was committed to them for a while from Buford High School, teammates with Nebraska's Dylan Raiola. He flips from Florida State to Georgia. Here's the thing. Mike Norvell still does have a top 10 class. They're going to finish the highest they have since 2017, I think I read. But I still don't know if that fully undoes the sting of 2 of the last 3 years, losing, a top 5, top 10 player, and in one case, the number 1 overall player in the country.
I mean, I think it does. And again, you got to understand that a lot of these kids are watching. I think some of them were broken. I think if the situation would have been different, Austin, as far as them going 13-0 and getting an opportunity to win and go into the college playoff, you could have probably seen a little different perspective on how they look at it, and then coming in and being an additional piece of that. But at the same time, you got to wonder why Georgia, because Georgia ends up getting knocked out. Why does somebody want to flip there? And then you got to say, is it an NIL situation? Because I'm going to be honest, I've talked to some Florida State members and boosters and even Florida. That is, as good as those programs are, one of the areas that they're not staunchly strong in is boosters. Mm-hmm. They have them, but they're not power boosters. They don't get me, don't hold me to the fire on this, but I'm just saying they don't really have that backing, because here's why. I know this is why I say this, because I remembered situations and discussions that they were having about coaches and letting coaches go and saying that a salary of, $12, $14, $15 million, they can't, that's something they just can't easily do. On the other hand, you look at Texas A&M, $60-something million. They're just 60. You know what I'm saying? They ain't giving it. Right. Florida State couldn't do that. I mean, let's just be honest. I'm just being honest. Based on what what I've heard in talking to some of those boosters and friends that are very staunch supporters of the programs, they just can't throw away that kind of money. So I don't know what it is. I don't know if they're NIL deals. You got, I mean, Tallahassee is a moderate city. It's bigger probably than Lincoln, but for some reason, I just don't know, what it is that is having these top tier class players in the top 150 to just want to bounce out. There's a lot of questions. And then you have to listen, then you got to look around the landscape of transferring. Then you see like Ohio State loses 15 or so more, So it happens. We're not saying that's not the case. And we know Ohio State don't have a problem with cashola. That's one thing they don't have a problem with. So I just don't know how to answer that question, man, as to why.
I think if Mike Norvell knew the answer, he would have tried to solve the problem by now. Again, still overall a good class, but 2 top prospects in 3 years is a blow. You mentioned Florida losing 6 top 150 players in this cycle alone. Something is wrong at Florida just in general. The men's basketball team isn't where it was under Billy Donovan. It has a fringe NCAA tournament team, not really a threat in the SEC. Baseball's good. Volleyball's fine, but maybe it's taken a slight step back. There's something in the water at Florida, but Stricky, there was something good in the water down in Coral Gables. Miami made a handful of flips, and they almost got another one. They almost got Jeremiah Smith away from Ohio State. Miami had the number 3 recruiting class in the country this year. Really the only program, major power program in the state of Florida that kicked it up on the recruiting trail. And now we started that conversation again for Miami of, are they back? Is this the class that gets Miami back into, playoff contention? We've seen talented classes before for Miami, but not all the way up to number 3 in the country. Mario Cristobal right now, I think, is in a very similar spot to where Jimbo Fisher was entering that class that was like the $30 million NIL class. Mario Cristobal has to deliver now.
Well, let's just go back just a couple of years, right? Miami, just a few years ago, they were saying the same thing. It reminds me a lot of what we see in Nebraska. It's here we come. We back, baby. We ready. Now, I think Miami finds himself in a very similar situation that Nebraska does. What has been their problem? It hasn't necessarily been that they haven't had talent. It hasn't been that they don't have good coaching. It hasn't been that the place of Miami to play is Coral Gables isn't beautiful and, where they're at. It's not the problem. I think their problem has been like Nebraska's. Guess where they've missed at, Austin?
Brand complacency.
That
alignment.
And quarterback.
And that. They thought they had the answer in Tyler Van Dyke, but then this year he takes a huge step back, Stricky.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't think we understand fully in just the full scale of what you do when you miss at the quarterback position and what it can do to your program. And I think it's in a put up or shut up mode for Miami right now. Like, I think if they miss on this one, like us, it can set you back. Now, I don't think we missed. I'm not saying we missed. I think we're going to have growing pains because if something happens or there's bad mistakes or there's tough losses, then we're going to look at the youth of the quarterback, but you can hopefully look at the growth of where he comes from out of it, right? That's the difference because you got a good one. And I truly think Dylan Raiola is a good one. I mean, his arm strength, his accuracy, I love his footwork. He's got all the intangibles. Now it's just a matter of getting him surrounded by the talent to get him what he needs. Get him great pocket protection and get him some receivers that can win battles in the routes. So that's where we are. Now I think they're a little bit more of, we need a transfer portal guy that can hit. We need maybe like a Dylan Gabriel who comes out, goes to Oklahoma, kind of shaky at first, but then he ends up hitting for him and winning some big games for him. Obviously, you're not going to losing Bedlam and stuff like that.
Right.
But you beat Texas. Mm-hmm. So you got somebody like that. Now, if you can win somebody like that at Miami, I think you'd be okay.
We'll get back to the state of Florida here in about 20 minutes or so with Florida State suing the ACC and the ACC countersuing Florida State. We want to shout out Cliff Castorol. Cliff, appreciate you listening on the YouTube stream from down in Florida. And then on our text line, 4332-8339. Appreciate you texting in. Husker, one of our favorite. Appreciate you for listening. Big Merry Christmas to you as well. Get your girlfriend better, right? Nurse her back to health. Do the good boyfriend thing. We really appreciate you listening, and a Merry Christmas to you. We'll take a break. When we get back, the Nebraska Athletic Program's Christmas wish list. What is on their Christmas list? What would we give them? What would they want for Christmas to improve their season? What do they want for Christmas? We'll give you those some programs and what we would get them for Christmas. What would they think they want for Christmas, and more as we continue on the block here on 93.7 The Ticket.
Gaina Trucking is hiring CDL Class A and B drivers. Gaina Trucking guarantees a 40-hour work week year-round, and their strong team culture makes it not a job, but a career. Gaina Trucking offers health, vision, and dental insurance, 401k with company match, an employee assistance program, and other bonus programs. Build a better career today with great team culture at Gaina Trucking. Learn more and apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
Hey, it's Sean Callahan, and football season is here, and there is one place that has all the games, plus great food and beer specials. Tanner's Bar and Grill at 30th and Yankee Hill. Whether it's Thursday night football, college football Saturdays, NFL Sundays, or Monday night football, there's a great view of the game from any seat with different food and drink specials every night. Try the Blue Ribbon Reuben Sandwich or the Prime Rib French Dip or any of their famous chicken lips. That's Tanner's Bar and Grill at 30th and Yankee Hill.
Ready to upgrade your combine with new technology to make your harvest more efficient, meaning more money in your pocket? The team at Landmark Implement is here to help find the right combine for harvest. Plus, when you purchase a pre-owned combine from Landmark, you are backed by Landmark's extensive parts and service network, along with mobile techs and parts drop-off points to keep you up and running, reducing downtime. View inventory online at landmarkimp.com or stop by your local Landmark to experience the Landmark difference.
Houses? They're expensive. And once you buy one, you're kind of stuck with it for a while. You need to make sure you get your best house for the best price. You need Ben Bleicher and his team of pros at Professional Realty Group. They'll take the time to figure out what's important for you in your dream home, and they have the expertise to find the hidden issues that could surprise you after the sale. That's professional knowledge, proactive service. We call that potential. Ben Bleicher and the team at Professional Realty Group of Berkshire Hathaway's Home Service Ambassador. Find more online at prg-ne.com.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Infrastructure, a veteran-owned local company proudly serving Lincoln, Lancaster County, and the surrounding areas. Bauer provides quality work at an affordable price, and they're growing rapidly. If you want to experience a career with a fast-paced, family-friendly environment, visit BauerInfrastructure.com. They have top-of-the-line benefits, year-round work, even through the winter. Bauer, usher in the new era of infrastructure to an area near you. And as always, go Big Red.
Problem gambling is not just a financial issue. It's an emotional problem with financial consequences. If your loved one is struggling with addiction, contact Choices Treatment Center's 24-hour helpline at 402-476-2300. That's 402-476-2300.
John Henry's would like to remind you, if you haven't already, to unhook your outdoor hoses and check faucets for leaks so your pipes don't freeze. As the official plumber of the Huskers, you know who to call when a plumbing issue arises. From frozen pipes to clogged drains, we can help you protect your home this winter. Give John Henry's a call today to schedule at
435-5555. John Henry's Plumbing, Heating and Air.
Hey guys, Jake Sorensen here from Early Break. The garage door at our house has been needing replacement for a couple years, and a few months ago, we finally did something about it. Steve's Garage Doors and Services was great through the whole process in providing options and also going to the next level to get a door that was approved by our HOA. And best of all, the removal of the old door and installation of the new door was done smoothly with no issues. Call Steve's Garage Doors and Services today at 402-480-2840.
This is Brian at Midwest Bank, and we've been proudly serving clients in the Lincoln community since 2008, and we're excited to open a second location in January 2024 at 70th and Pioneers Boulevard. Our new branch will provide all the convenient services you're looking for in a bank, along with the friendly staff we're known for. Whether you're starting a business or expanding your business, our team is here for you, your community, your bank, Midwest Bank. Find out more at midwestbank.com. Member FDIC.
New year, new career. The new year is just around the corner. Why not start it off strong with a new career? General Excavating is looking for qualified underground utility project managers. Check out our website, generalexcavating.com, or call 402-467-1627 for more information. Happy holidays from General Excavating.
Ever wish you had another light switch on the other side of the room on a dark night? How much better would you sleep at night if you had a ceiling fan in your room? The High Electric Service Department is here to make your electrical what-ifs a reality. Whether you're looking to replace some outdated light fixtures or brighten up your counters with under-cabinet lighting, High Electric can handle all types of residential electrical installations and services. Give Erica a call at 402-466-6606 or visit high-electric.com to get started. Working at Continental in Lincoln isn't a job, it's a career. And right now, they've raised wages again, and they're hiring for production operators at $24.62 per hour, which grows to $28.97 per hour within 3 years. Skilled trade positions now start at $33.36 per hour, with opportunities to make more based on certifications. Continental also has salary jobs available and great benefits, plus medical and prescription costs at very low premiums. Dental, vision, and life insurance are offered at no premium cost to the associates, with increased bonuses and vacation for new hires. To learn more or apply, go to continentaljobs.com with keyword Lincoln. Come work at Continental today.
Your home is your empire. Protect it with Empire Fence. Get a free instant quote with the online estimating tool at empire-fence.com. See an upfront estimate with no hidden fees. And Empire Fence can provide privacy and improve the appearance of your home. Keep kids and pets in or out of your yard. Increase security and add value to your property. Visit empire-fence.com now to view the stylish and maintenance-free possibilities for your home and get a free instant online quote. Let Empire Fence protect your empire.
Now back to On the Block with Strick and Austin on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back on the block. It is Friday. Thank you for joining us here on the block. 937 The Ticket at ticketfm.com. Austin Orman, Eastrick here. I am remote today. Going to be flying out to meet with family, but Austin is there in the studio. You can always go by 11th and 1040 O Street. Shout out to us through the window. Say hello. All of that good stuff. We hope that you have a wonderful weekend as well. Listen, we're going to get into a topic. Nebraska athletics right now, the programs, what is their Christmas list? Do they want to be naughty? Do they want to be nice? Santa is on his sleigh, headed from the North Pole. He's going to cross in another day or two over Nebraska, right over Lincoln, right over Memorial Stadium. He's dropping gifts off. What if he decides to drop gifts off? Austin, what would he be looking for the specific programs? We're going to start with the football team. What would be the greatest gift that you think that the football team would want when Santa crosses over Memorial Stadium and begins going into South Stadium where they're doing renovations and just kind of walking around, looking around, taking a little inventory on whether or not Nebraska is going to be on point or not?
Well, I'm sure all of these programs would take a national championship, so I'm not going to put that on the list, even though I think that's obvious. I think the athletic department would take a deposit of $450 million for the renovations and everything. But in terms of the football team itself, if I'm Nebraska, if I'm Santa, I'm giving them a portal running back. They have Dante Dowdle, who's visiting from Oregon. He's got that scheduled. But I think a running back is really the next missing piece here. I know that Nebraska still wants a wide receiver. I know a linebacker would be nice, even more offensive line help. But I think given the quarterbacks Nebraska brought in this recruiting class, and Dylan Raiola and Daniel Kalen, I would put my money on Raiola starting at this point. I know Heinrich Harburg is still in the quarterback room as of now, and I think he stays there, for a while, given the state of the room. But the money's on Dylan Raiola to start. Can he move? Yes. Do you build a quarterback run game around him? Absolutely not. I think the offensive line is in a pretty good spot right now. Again, it can always get better. It can always improve. But it's in a good enough spot that I don't think, a portal offensive lineman moves the needle tremendously. Wide receivers, we know the guys Nebraska brought in, the guys that they have, the guys they may or may not get back from injury. So I think a true, kind of workhorse running back, that 1A to pair with Emmett Johnson's 1B. We'll see if Gabe Irvin comes back healthy, what Quentin Ives can be. But for me, Strick, dropping off a portal running back is a great way to, improve this run game because it's a guy Nebraska can depend on and rely on. It doesn't have to, jerry-rig a run game. It can just be as simple as turn, hand the ball to this guy, average 4.5 yards a carry or more, and there's our run game.
Yeah, I think you're probably right. And the reason I would look at the run game as well is because of the fact that it's something that wasn't always consistent. But we know what a consistent run game could do for the Huskers. Just look at the ones that had great success. Ohio State, with as good as how their passing game was, their run game was still pretty solid. But you look at the statistics for Nebraska, and when I run them off to you, you're looking at their rushing game. Your best rusher should never and should not be your quarterback. So you're talking about 2,000 yards in total from them. Your best rusher averaged 477 yards. I think you want somebody who has the ability to double that. I think the carries need to be at 170 and between 170 and 200 between that guy. And even if you want to throw Anthony Grant, or not Anthony Grant, but Emmett Johnson in there, get him another 100 or so carries, I'm okay with that. I think you want their carries to be in that 300 range, but that means that your linemen got to be moving. They got to be moving the pile. They've got to be moving, the trenches. That's one of the things that's going to happen. But I think a big bruising running back that can power in between the tackles, that can one is a one-cut guy. I'm looking for a one-cut guy, not a guy that's trying to get sideline to sideline. Somebody who has great vision, sees a hole, hits a hole, and can get up in there and get you 4 or 5 yards a pop. And I think that's what you're hoping for. So you want to double that number. You want your best running back to have that, between 750 and 900 yards. And then, if you want to throw in an extra couple 100, 200, 300, 400 for the next guy, I'm okay with that.
I think part of that too, Strick, is you say between 170 and 200 carries, which I like those numbers. Some fans might be saying that's a lot of carries. How do you get there? Well, you don't turn the ball over, which is why for a stocking stuffer, you give Nebraska either, a jar of Stickum or new gloves, because if you turn the ball over, there's not going to be enough snaps to hit that number. But if you're able to hold on to the ball, rush it for at least 4.5 yards per carry, there will be those snaps to go around to hit those benchmarks.
Absolutely. And then you make another point. The other point to that is this. If you got to remember, you're punting a lot, you're 3 and outs a lot, like you just said, not even just the turnovers, but you're 3 and outs a lot. That means your numbers aren't good and enough to get there as well. But if you're moving chains, that means you're giving your kicker a chance to get points on the board, or you're getting in the red zone and you're giving yourself a chance to score. Most importantly, if your defense remains as solid as it is, that means at the end of games, even if the score is 24, 28 to 17, that means you're rushing the ball and moving the ball to be able to keep the clock running. So that's where you are able to get there also. Yeah, good stuff. Anything else to add to that?
I think in terms of a one-cut back, I would even take like a Divine Azigbo type of guy, Nebraska's last 1,000-yard rusher. That's kind of the prototype I have in mind right now.
Okay, sounds good. Let's move over to men's basketball. Men's basketball right now off to a great start, 10-2, 11-2 record right now, and they 10-2, hopefully 11-2 when they face South Dakota. I don't want to just throw it in the boat because of South Carolina State. Well, just because of what just happened with North Dakota, I don't want to just throw it in the pile as a win. But as you're looking at this team missing Rink Mass, you can tell there's a difference in how they operate without Rink Mass. I love the fact that Josiah Allick understood the mismatch that he had, and then he began to take advantage of that, getting down to a spot, using his physicality and just dropping off jump hooks. That's not always going to be the case. But you didn't see Tamanaga as he was in Big 8. You didn't see Bryce Williams, but you saw some other people begin to step up. So if you're Santa Claus and you're Fred Hoiberg and staff over there, what are you looking for on the Christmas list?
To me, the first thing that comes to mind is Rink Mass healthy by Big Ten play. When you open up against Indiana, have your, maybe second or third team all-conference caliber big man back in the lineup. Rink Mass is putting up numbers He's scoring well, he's rebounding well, and his passing has picked up over these last few games once Nebraska, really got its energy back on the offensive end. That, to me, I think is the first gift. If you could airdrop a 40% three-point shooter into the lineup, if you could airdrop, another perimeter stopper or a rim protector, one of those two things would be great. But I still think there's enough on Nebraska's team that a healthy rink mast gives Nebraska the opportunity to reach all its goals. I think on the text line, we had something from Willie. Yes, Willie says a trip to the Sweet 16. That would be incredible. That'd mean this program gets, 2 wins in the same NCAA tournament for the first time ever, gets an NCAA tournament win for the first time ever. So yes, a trip to the Sweet 16 would be great. How do you get there? I think it's by having a healthy rink mast open and available for you to win at least half of your Big Ten games, if not more, moving forward.
Being that time is of the essence, I'm not gonna dig too deep in that. I would have to agree with you. If I do have a disagreement, then I'll let it be known. But at this time, let's go to the women's basketball program. Women's basketball program overall last year, 18-15, 2 games under 500 in conference. Off to a great start this year, only 3 losses as they prepare to go into Big Ten play. What do you like for Santa to drop off under their Christmas tree?
To me, Strick, it's an NCAA tournament berth, which, again, I know sounds kind of simple and reductionist, but this is a team that made it 2 years ago, slid back to the pack a little bit last year, had the NIT appearance. I think this is a team that has the talent and the ability to get back to the NCAA tournament. They've just got to find a way to piece it together. So maybe the better way for me to phrase this would be another gear, right? You think about a car that can shift into multiple gears. Give Nebraska women's basketball an extra gear, whether that's on offense or defense. I don't think it matters. This is a solid team. It's a good team, but there's got to be something in this program that flips them from a pretty good team to a good team, from a good team to a great team. Maybe that's health for Allison Widener, who's out for the year again, which is unfortunate. Maybe it's better shooting or more consistent defense. They just went down to Lawrence, Kansas, and got beat up by Kansas. So this is a program that needs to find a way to take that next step. So I just think another gear would go a long way for this Husker women's basketball team.
I like that. I like that. The prospect of just going catching another gear. You know what I mean? If you have a 5-speed, but your car is really a 6-speed, just really getting into that 6-speed, catching the cruise control and just putting it in motion and getting there. I like that. Let's look at volleyball. Obviously, there's not much more you can ask for volleyball. 2 losses on the year, 2 tough losses on the year. One to their nemesis in Wisconsin, and then in the championship game against Texas. But what more could you ask for to a young team outside of a championship? I just think continuing to grow. But what do you think as far as that team is concerned?
Yeah, I think just more time to practice passing. We know how good they are. Bergen Riley was great. We know Lexi Rodriguez and Lainey Choboy were great defensively. We know what the hitters can do with swinging, but we saw that first touch off of serves come back to bite Nebraska. So either, time to practice serving, where Nebraska can be as lethal from the service line as Texas was, as Wisconsin was at points. But barring that, I would say just time to practice passing, get that good first touch, be able to get into the flow of your offense well. And that negates a lot of the problems Nebraska had against Texas.
We'll go over to baseball now. What do we want Santa to drop off for the baseball team as they're preparing really soon in spring to be able to get launched off? I say for me, getting off to a good start. I think the start that they had last year after winning a Big Ten championship, getting off to a good start. They started 0-3, bad losses against San Diego, out in San Diego. And it just kind of seemed to snowball. It gets a couple of wins, but then you had these bad midweek losses to like Omaha and then I think Creighton. Those losses can always come back to bite you. And you hoping to get a sweep out of Nichols, but you don't on that one. Get one game canceled and then end up losing one of those games. These are games that you want to win. I think for me, just winning the games you're supposed to win and fighting in the games that are maybe going to give you a trouble a little bit.
I really like that. I think something that would go a long way to helping that is the emergence of Drew Christo, a guy who's out of Elkhorn that has a fastball that touches mid to upper 90s, wipeout slider as well. But Strick, he's a guy that hasn't been able to put it all together. If he's throwing the ball hard and over the strike zone, it's over the middle of the plate. but he's been pretty wild. Hasn't always had the best control. Drew Christo was very highly touted, had a chance to go play professional baseball out of high school, but chooses to come to Lincoln to play for Coach Bolt in this program. I think it goes a long way for this baseball team if Drew Christo is able to finally put it all together, whether he becomes a Friday, Saturday, Sunday caliber of pitcher, which I think would be huge. But even if he can lock down that midweek starting spot, whether that's a Tuesday or a Wednesday game, if you can depend on Drew Christo to give you 5+ solid innings where he's not walking guys, I think that's huge. That answers a lot of questions I have for this team. I think the offense will come along, but I think a lot of Husker baseball fans have been waiting on the Elkhorn product to put it all together. What better time than this year?
Yeah, and I agree with you. And as crazy as this may sound, is if we move over to the softball, 36-22 record on last year, 13-10 in conference. I think you can say it's a little bit of the same in those midweek games. I think they've got to be better there. It just seems like they always would come up a little bit short. Now their schedule wasn't easy by no means, but now with the additions that they've brought to this team, what are some of your expectations about where you would hope this program to go from there?
To me, Strick, the Christmas gift that I would give would be a Women's College World Series appearance. I think this team, is really solid across the board offensively, played some good defense last year, and they add the best pitcher in the country to their rotation in Jordy Ball. It's hard to say that for a team that, has been a pretty consistent NCAA tournament qualifier that's found it hard to take that next step, that it's Women's College World Series or bust down in Oklahoma City, but it kind of feels like it, right? You have 2 years with Jordy Ball at this point. You have to find a way to make it to that final 8. And I think Nebraska, at least has the outlines of a team that can do it. So if Santa's dropping a Christmas present off at Bolin, I'm saying it's a Women's College World Series appearance. Whether that means you host a regional and a super regional, I don't know. But find a way to win your regional, win 2 out of 3 in your super, go down to Oklahoma City. I do have to shout out the voice of Husker softball, Nate Rohr, on Twitter, said what he would airdrop to Bolin Stadium: more seating, right? The Jordy Ball experience in full effect. So get some more bleachers out to Bolin Stadium, Santa, so we can have more people watching the Jordy Ball show.
There it is. We're gonna take a quick break. We'll start the conversation. I think we may carry it over into the 3:00 hour. We're gonna talk a little bit about the ramifications in the situation that's going on. There's conflict. There's some infighting in the ACC. We saw the downfall of the Pac-12. They didn't seem to get it right. Now we've got some infighting between the ACC. What's going to happen and who's going to emerge victor out of that? Florida State and the ACC are now suing each other with claims. We're going to talk about that when we come back, and we'll touch it also in the 3:00 hour. We'll be right back on the block, 93.7 The Ticket.
This is Brian at Midwest Bank, and we've been proudly serving clients in the Lincoln community since 2008, and we're excited to open a second location in January 2024 at 70th and Pioneers Boulevard. Our new branch will provide all the convenient services you're looking for in a bank, along with the friendly staff we're known for. Whether you're starting a business or expanding your business, our team is here for you. Your community, your bank, Midwest Bank. Find out more at midwestbank.com, member FDIC.
If you're not going to Memorial Stadium for a home game and don't have any travel plans for away games, there's a great place in Omaha to catch the action, the Inner Rail Food Hall. There's plenty of space. The Backstretch Bar has amazing game specials on game days. $15 Blue Moon and Bud Light pitchers, $6 margaritas, and $6 Moscow Mules. And if you're hungry, take in some of their great options from their game day pizza specials. Do football game day right in the Inner Rail Food Hall in Exarban Village in Omaha.
You're counting on your team to win, so why not prove it? At Warhorse Sportsbook, their win is your win. Put your money where your mouth is on nearly every sporting event. Use the Warhorse app to check odds and build your bets before placing your wagers in person at Warhorse Casino in Lincoln or Horseman's Park in Omaha, including live in-game betting. No bets, no glory. Wagers may only be placed on Nebraska-based teams when played outside the state of Nebraska. Must be 21 or older to gamble. Gambling problem? Call 1-833-BET-OVER.
John Henry's would like to remind you, if you haven't already, to unhook your outdoor hoses and check faucets for leaks so your pipes don't freeze. As the official plumber of the Huskers, you know who to call when a plumbing issue arises. From frozen pipes to clogged drains, we can help you protect your home this winter. Give
John Henry's
a call today to schedule at
435-5555. John Henry's Plumbing, Heating and Air.
Hi everyone, Kendall Warnock with A1 Automotive in downtown Lincoln. If you're looking for an automotive repair facility you can genuinely trust, we would be grateful for the opportunity to earn your business repairing your vehicle. We have ASE master technicians and qualified to work on a variety of vehicles from Hondas to Porsches, Jaguars to Toyotas, and Chevrolets to Fords. We pride ourselves on customer service and relationships, and we would be grateful for the opportunity to serve you. Give us a call at 402-477-4660. A1 Automotive, always honest answers.
Working at Continental in Lincoln isn't a job, it's a career. And right now, they've raised wages again, and they're hiring for production operators at $24.62 per hour, which grows to $28.97 per hour within 3 years. Skilled trade positions now start at $33.36 per hour, with opportunities to make more based on certifications. Continental also has salary jobs available and great benefits, plus medical and prescription costs at very low premiums. Dental, vision, and life insurance are offered at no premium cost to the associates, with increased bonuses and vacation for new hires. To learn more or apply, go to continentaljobs.com with keyword Lincoln. Come work at Continental today. Attention all Wings fans. 89-cent wings are back on Tuesdays at Buffalo Wings and Rings in Lincoln. Enjoy the best wings in town for boneless or traditional at a price that makes the whole family happy. And now at the Williamsburg Village Wings and Rings, you can enjoy $1.50 tall boys in Bud Light, Coors Light, Busch Light, and Michelob Ultra every day after 7 p.m. and all day on Sundays. Get to Wings and Rings today and make sure to stop by on Tuesdays for 89-cent wings.
It's the holiday season. Time for work parties, friend get-togethers, family gatherings, which means lots of eating. Maybe you think you've perfected your holiday meals, and maybe you have no idea where to even start. Let's fix that right now. No holiday party is complete without Führer's cheese spread. It goes well with any type of cracker, pretzels, apple, chili, vegetables, chips, and of course, it's perfect to pair with wine or beer. Holiday meals aren't complete until Führer's cheese spread is on the table. Find your own container at your nearest local grocery store today.
Integrated Life Choices has been inspiring opportunities for individuals with disabilities for more than 15 years in Lincoln and across Nebraska by offering a number of services. From group homes to independent living resources and job training, you'll find the support that allows people to live fulfilling lives. They're also hiring. If you're looking for a rewarding career supporting people with developmental disabilities, you can check out open positions along with learning more about services at ilc.net. Integrated Life Choices.
Liberty Law Group is committed to the defense of liberty for those accused and the pursuit of justice for those injured. Liberty Law Group's relentless trial attorneys specialize in criminal defense and personal injury law. We believe in treating every client with respect, compassion, and understanding. We know that navigating the legal system is stressful and overwhelming, but Liberty Law Group will carry that burden for you. When you're facing legal issues, make the right call. 877-42-LIBERTY. That's 877-42-LIBERTY.
My dream was to work in commercial banking, but it required a college degree and I didn't have one. I found out that Doane had classes for adult learners on the Lincoln campus and online. So I earned my bachelor's degree, and 5 months later, I landed my dream job. I decided to continue my education, and now I'm working on my MBA at Doane. For me, the Doane experience has been life-changing.
Are you working in or looking to get into the electrical construction industry? The electrical workers of Local Union 265 are now hiring licensed journeymen and apprentices and are offering great pay and benefits. Call Mike at 402-875-1034 to apply. Start your electrical career today.
This is where it happens. Long hikes with friends, kayaking adventures with family, more horseback riding, zipline gliding, rock face climbing, hammock camping fun than you could ever imagine. And it's all outdoors, amongst the trees and across the prairie, here beneath Nebraska skies. Plan an outing today at yournebraskaadventure.com. Sponsored by Nebraska Game and Parks, aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Now back to On the Block with Strick and Austin on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We are back on the block. He's Strick and Austin Orman. Thank you for joining us on the block. We are here, and it is Friday. Holidays right around the corner, but check this out, man. We're going to get into this conversation because I think it's a deep one. It's dealing with the conflict resolution theory going on down in the ACC. It is not a theory. It is actually possibly going to jump off. It's going to probably happen really soon. Right now, they're kind of doing preparations. Things are kind of in motion a little bit. So what you have is the FSU Board of Trustees. They announced on Thursday to comply with state opening meetings law that requires the members to give a public 24-hour notice before the gathering. This with multi sources saying and acknowledging that FSU potentially plans to break away from the ACC and to sue them by doing so. And then on the other hand, there's a rebuttal in which the ACC is looking to do the same. So what they have there is a 30-year grant of rights, a legal document in which the ACC and its members and TV partners, which is ESPN, have a binding agreement, and where through the years of 2035 and 36 academic year that they would stick together as a unit, and that is the ACC, in which they would pay them roughly around $30 million per season for each, for their TV rights. And so a lot of the SEC teams, programs, a lot of them, especially the big ones, your Clemsons, your FSUs, maybe even your Miami's. Miami's a little bit more in the background kind of with it right now. But they're a little bit disappointed, Austin. They're frustrated. They want a little bit more. And then they had the privilege of watching the Big Ten and the ACC go for the big bucks, no whammies. And they hit for close to $100 million. And you're looking at a $70 million difference. Can't be happy about it. What's your thought on where this goes? And is the ACC next to fall? Because personally, Austin, I thought the ACC would go before the Pac-12. So I was really surprised to see the Pac-12 go down first, but the ACC, is that the next domino to fall?
You know, it is if Florida State has its way. Florida State would need to recruit some help in this, right? You would need probably, like you said, Clemson would have to be interested, maybe like a Carolina. Miami might have to throw its weight behind it. Schools like that are okay in the ACC, but see that there's so much more out there. I think the ACC is pretty ironclad for a while. I think this grant of rights is simple enough that it's hard to break, which is kind of funny. It's not this long, crazy document, but I think the ACC did a good job in writing it, that it's going to be tough to break. I also think, Strick, the ACC makes a great point in that, yes, things change, but Florida State was very happy with this agreement when they signed it. The ACC brought receipts from Florida State's then president, who obviously signed it. And, some of the leaders at Florida State made comments saying this is a great deal. It puts us in a great position to succeed. We appreciate ESPN, and we're looking forward to this continued partnership. I don't know if anyone saw, the explosion of media rights money coming, but if you're Florida State, even though it's only been 10 years into this deal, I think it is 10 or 11, they loved it at the time. They were pushing for it. They were some of the ones that got this over the finish line. And the ACC says, hey, look at what we're doing. We're holding up our end of the bargain. You're getting the money. You said you were happy with this long ago. We're still giving you a platform to succeed. Our teams are still winning championships. So you can cut it out because you're just crying poor and crying wolf now, when things are really, comparatively, it's not a lot of money, obviously, but let's not pretend like you don't have a platform, Florida State.
Well, here's the thing, and I just want to throw this at you and see what you think about it. Is this very similar to a Scottie Pippen situation with the Bulls, where you took the longevity initially early on, not realizing the landscape that you would emerge and become a perennial all-star, not knowing that you would become and return back to your former glory, and in the midst of this transition and watching the transitions, the moves, the mergers, those other organizations that are now shifting. Now you have Stanford coming over. Now you have Cal coming over, and you have these. Maybe you're not happy with that transition and you want to move on. But here's the problem with that. SEC's not excited about adding or moving anybody in, and that's to include Clemson. It's two great programs. And then the Big Ten is like, hey, man, we're cool where we're at. We don't need any additional moves at this point. So then you would leave yourself with nowhere to go. So my thing then is, would it be a Big 12? the stepsister of the two big boys.
That's probably the move, and the Big 12 is comparable to ACC money. Now that you explain the Scottie Pippen thing, I think that makes a lot of sense and it's kind of where Florida State is at, because I don't remember if it was the first year of this deal or within the first few years of this deal. Florida State won a national championship in this ACC in the college football playoff. Clemson had its run at the top of the sport, going back and forth with Alabama there for a few years. So it's not like the ACC has been, so terribly bad. Where I think it's similar to Scotty is that Florida State had to look a little in the future, but not nearly as far in the future as to today, right? It knew that $30 million was a lot of money then, and it's hard to pass that up when you're, at the front or near the front, making $30 million a year. That was definitely competitive at the time. And I mean, you can speak to this being a pro athlete, having that guarantee of security, I'm sure is great for peace of mind, makes budgeting so much simpler. The difference, Strick, is players can renegotiate their contracts because they're individuals. Has to work within the confines of what the team is able to do and willing to do. But players have more flexibilities than universities do, because maybe it would be a show of good faith. It could be a bone to Florida State if the ACC said, sure, we'll cut you a little bit, a bigger slice of the pie. We have some leftover money. We'll give it to you to keep you happy and make you stay. But they wouldn't be able to do that unilaterally, I wouldn't think. That'd be wildly unfair to the other 14 schools in the program. And they can't just negotiate with only Florida State. Every other member school would want a slice of that pie, obviously that same bone thrown to them, or they would rather Florida State not get it. If they're not going to get it, why should Florida State get it? So I think players, even if they do sign for some of that long-term guarantee and stability, the team can go back and they can go to the team and say, hey, this made sense at the time. Situations have changed. Can we renegotiate? That's impossible for Florida State to do right now.
So there's two things. One, there's no leverage right now that they have, because to me, it feels like a man or a woman that said, hey, sign this prenuptial agreement right here. Right. Sign this prenup here. And at the end of the divorce, we're trying to, step out, but we're trying to get more paper. We're trying to create leverage, and you really don't have that because it's kind of solid. It's kind of ironclad. So at that point, then being that you don't have leverage, being that you didn't want these other teams, I didn't get to find out this detail, but those other teams coming in, is it going to cut into the slice, or is it basically going to balance itself out and they're going to just get an additional piece of the 30?
Well, that's one of Florida State's claims, is that they're trying to get out of this deal by saying the ACC broke its end of the agreement by adding more schools, because Cal and Stanford will come in and they'll take a reduced rate, but they will still receive some ACC money. Right. But SMU's the one that's coming in and taking the no money for 7 years. Florida State's argument is the ACC breached the contract by adding member schools that don't increase the dollar figure. They're not getting more money. They're getting the same amount of money broken up with two other mouths to feed and eventually SMU. So Florida State's argument is that is a breach of the grant of rights, because the ACC had to act in its best interest to add dollars to this if it was going to add schools.
That's where I thought it was going as well. Anything else with this topic that we find interesting, Austin, that you think is worth delving into? Because for me, I think it's good on the basketball side of things, but because the numbers, it seems like there's just such a lack of balance. And you're looking at committees, and now you're looking at 12. Your goal is to add more individuals into that 12-team playoff coming up, because obviously that's additional monetary gain for your program. By doing so, the further along that you can go, you're going to add probably, well, I don't know how they're going to do it or structure it, but I think you add a home game if you were able to possibly be in a higher rank. They may get you an additional home game, which is additional monetary, give other TV revenues locally, regionally, or whatever, advertising dollars. So obviously you want to try to get more happiness by adding more teams in there. But then part of the committee is not just only the rankings, right? Because part of those decisions are made by way of your strengths of schedule and other elements of it. So when you have power conferences, strengths of schedule sometimes, being maybe a little bit higher than yours, that could leave maybe a few of your teams out that could not benefit from that 12.
It absolutely could. Florida State should be a player in the 12-team playoff for years to come. Clemson, I would like to think, is still at least in that conversation. Does Miami pop back up in there? I would tend to assume they do at some point. And then there's always that one or two sort of surprise teams. This year it was Louisville. It was Duke getting off to a hot start. Preseason it was Carolina. The ACC is still a chance to compete, and that's where obviously money is the thing. But I think Florida State is being very blatant and open about money being the ultimate object here, because think about the message that it's sending to Mike Norvell and this team. You guys got lucky. You guys don't have enough to succeed at the high level long term. This was a fluke of a year unless we get more money. To me, Strick, that downplays the coaching job. It downplays the talent when, yes, it's not an equal playing field to the SEC or the Big Ten in terms of dollars, but it's an equal playing field compared to everyone else in your conference. Clemson made it work for 5 to 7 years with that amount of money. It did, right? Little old Clemson. It's not Florida State. Doesn't have the history. Doesn't have the tradition. So yes, money is the thing here, and I get where Florida State is coming from. I just don't think they've been the most careful with their messaging and their approach to it. They're trying to, take a sledgehammer to knock down a reinforced metal wall, and it's not going to work. They have to try to find a way to, weld through the wall or be a little more tactical about it and send a better message, because they're just going to be banging their head against this wall while making no progress.
Yeah, no question about it.
Stricky, you muted. Lost your mic. We'll take a break. We'll try to get Strick's mic back at disconnected. Got nothing yet, Strick. We will try to figure this out, and we will be back with hour 2 of the show here in just a minute.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Have you seen the new Nebraska Lottery Holiday Classic scratch tickets?
Did you say holiday?
Yeah.
I love the holidays.
Okay, well, these new scratch tickets have...
Did you say scratch tickets?
That's right.
I love Nebraska Lottery scratch tickets.
And who wouldn't? They make great stocking stuffers, plus they're fast, fun, and easy.
Did you say fast, fun, and easy?
I did.
I love fast, fun, and easy.
How much coffee have you had today?
Did you say coffee?
Oh.
Top prize odds vary by game.
You're counting on your team to win, so why not prove it? At Warhorse Sportsbook, their win is your win. Put your money where your mouth is on nearly every sporting event. Use the Warhorse app to check odds and build your bets before placing your wagers in person at Warhorse Casino in Lincoln or Horseman's Park in Omaha, including live in-game betting. No bets, no glory. Wagers may only be placed on Nebraska-based teams when played outside the state of Nebraska. Must be 21 or older to gamble. Gambling problem? Call 1-833-BET-OVER.
Integrated Life Choices has been inspiring opportunities for individuals with disabilities for more than 15 years in Lincoln and across Nebraska by offering a number of services. From group homes to independent living resources and job training, you'll find along with learning more about services at ilc.net. Integrated Life Choices.
Your home is your empire. Protect it with Empire Fence. Get a free instant quote with the online estimating tool at empire-fence.com. See an upfront estimate with no hidden fees. An Empire Fence can provide privacy and improve the appearance of your home. Keep kids and pets in or out of your yard. Increase security and add value to your property. Visit empire-fence.com now to view the stylish and maintenance-free possibilities for your home and get a free instant online quote. Let Empire Fence protect your empire.
Hi, everyone. Kendall Warnock with A1 Automotive in downtown Lincoln. If you're looking for an automotive repair facility you can genuinely trust, we would be grateful for the opportunity to earn your business repairing your vehicle. We have ASE master technicians and qualified to work on a variety of vehicles from Hondas to Porsches, Jaguars to Toyotas, and Chevrolets to Fords. We pride ourselves on customer service and relationships, and we would be grateful for the opportunity to serve you. Give us a call at 402-477-4660. A1 Automotive, always honest answers.
I'm Christy. I used to smoke cigarettes. I had smoker's cough and severe shortness of breath, and I knew I had to quit. Then I tried e-cigarettes, but I just ended up using both. I really didn't start to get better until I quit smoking completely. My tip to you is just cutting down on the number of cigarettes you smoke isn't enough.
Call the Nebraska Tobacco Quit Line, 1-800-QUIT-NOW, 1-800-784-8669. Paid for by Tobacco Free Nebraska. Aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
There's only one place this holiday season to shop for the sports fan in your life and get cash back for slightly used sports items you don't need anymore. Play It Again Sports. Check out their selection of new and used items, including home fitness equipment like treadmills, exercise bikes, and ellipticals. And get your lift with free weights, benches, and racks to add to your home gym. And don't forget, if you have anything slightly used to trade in, they'll give you instant cash. Holiday shopping starts and ends at Play It Again Sports at 48th and Vine.
Attention all Wings fans. 89-cent wings are back on Tuesdays at Buffalo Wings and Rings in Lincoln. Enjoy the best wings in town for boneless or traditional at a price that makes the whole family happy. And now at the Williamsburg Village Wings and Rings, you can enjoy $1.50 tall boys in Bud Light, Coors Light, Busch Light, and Michelob Ultra every day after 7 p.m. and all day on Sundays. Get to Wings and Rings today and make sure to stop by on Tuesdays for 89-cent wings.
New year, new career. The new year is just around the corner. Why not start it off strong with a new career? General Excavating is looking for qualified underground utility project managers. Check out our website, generalexcavating.com, or call 402-467-1627 for more information. Happy holidays from General Excavating.
Southeast Community College invites you to check out our spaces ahead of your official campus visit. Our virtual campus tours let you see our campuses and learn more about our programs of study. Then you can schedule your individual visit in person or virtually. Virtual tours of our campuses in Beatrice, Lincoln, or Milford, and our learning centers are online at southeast.edu/visit SCC. SCC, your path to possible.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, expecting some areas of dense fog this morning. Then eventually we'll see mostly sunny skies this afternoon. We'll see a high around 53. Tonight, mainly clear skies with a low around 32. And tomorrow's more patchy fog possible in the morning. Then we'll see partly sunny skies for the afternoon. We'll see a high around 58. I'm meteorologist Kyle Clucker for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Liberty Law Group is committed to the defense of liberty for those accused and the pursuit of justice for those injured. Liberty Law Group's relentless trial attorneys specialize in criminal defense and personal injury law. We believe in treating every client with respect, compassion, and understanding. We know that navigating the legal system is stressful and overwhelming, but Liberty Law Group will carry that burden for you. When you're facing legal issues, make the right call. 877-42-LIBERTY. That's 877-42-LIBERTY.
This is On the Block with Strick and Austin. Nebraska Basketball Hall of Famer and 9-year NBA vet, Erick Strickland.
Strickland for three! And you're going to go out of here as the Big 8 tournament champion.
Middle school basketball coaching legend and Duke basketball shooting coach in his mind, Austin Orman. Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. On air and online at theticketfm.com. Brought to you by Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul. This is On the Block with Strick and Austin.
Got nothing, Stricky. Nothing. We're still working on some technical issues here during On the... Wait, what about now? Stricky? You with us? Nothing right now.
What about now?
Hey, we got Stricky. He's back.
There it is.
We're good.
Okay. Sweet.
Welcome back.
All right, we're good to go, man. Now we're good. I don't know. I think we both were probably going on the mute button at the same time, and so it was cutting me off, and then I thought I was talking. But hey, listen, it's all good, man. But I wanted to start this because you're a huge NFL guy, great knowledge there in the sport. Your Colts are sorry, but it's okay. We'll still do it.
Now I will mute you.
Tough game. And listen, there was a big game with some implications at this part of the season last night with the Saints. And here's why I say that. The Saints against the Rams last night, some controversial stuff at times. People thought, should have went one way or the other. 30-22 win for the Rams last night at home. But here's why I say there was a potential issue that had implications. We both talked about this at the beginning of the season, that the NFC South was garbo, trash, Duke Brown, mediocre at best, right? And the Saints were right there in the mix, in the thick of things. They have, I think, a better differential. I seem to think that they're playing a little bit better, although the Buccaneers have a better in-conference record. But they were 5-5 at the time, which could have made it, a little bit more equal in this piece. Saints come up short, puts the Buccaneers in the driver's seat, but there are more games that have great implications over the weekend. What's your initial thoughts on that game? Do you still believe that the Rams can come out of it on top at the end of the day? Because, Williams had a 100-yard rushing game. Stafford looked like the old Stafford when they won the championship. And freaking Nakua, Puka Nakua, is just emerged as an emerging star. When he comes into free agency, there's going to be a lot of teams chasing after that young man because he just seems to get the job done, even in the midst of losing, that receiver room just going on an up and down, crazy up and downs as far as whether or not they're going to have guys healthy and all of that. And he's emerged as that guy.
Right. Nakua has been an absolute revelation. They've hardly missed Cooper Kupp. Now, you'd like to have both of them out there, but Nakua's done a great job stepping in. Matthew Stafford, to me, is the story. 328 yards passing on the day, targeting 4 receivers. Not just completing passes to 4 receivers, targeting 4 receivers. That's essentially playing with a hand tied behind your back, really, in the NFL, is only having 4 guys catch a pass. Incredibly impressive from them. The Rams' competition right now really is the Vikings, the Packers with an outside shot, whoever is the runner-up there in that NFC South, and Seattle. There's still a lot of competition for those NFC wildcard spots, Strick. But if the Rams get in, you look at Aaron Donald's ability to be the best player on the field any given day. You look at Matthew Stafford maybe turning back the clock a little bit and no one being able to solve the riddle, the enigma that is Puka Nakua. I wouldn't pick the Rams to, win a Super Bowl or anything, but if they're getting hot at the right time, they have the upper level pieces to scare plenty of teams in that NFC field.
Absolutely. And here's another one. Huge implications, I think. The AFC North is just everybody's kind of in a hodgepodge outside of the Baltimore Ravens. They've clinched. But doggone it, the Cincinnati Bengals are knocking at the door potentially, but in their way right now, the Browns, but the Steelers are right there as well. And when you look at Mike Tomlin, he hasn't had a losing season, and now he's like right there at 500. So it's huge for him. It's huge for them to try to stay in the race right now. It's tough out there. The Buffalo Bills are now seeming to have a reemergence in themselves. Shoot. Jets are gone, Patriots gone, but they're still in the thick of things. Indianapolis is even still teetering around there. So here's the thing. That's great and huge implications of being able to move up the board in the AFC North, where probably only 2 of them are going to get in.
That is probably the case. Obviously, Baltimore is in at this point. And then it comes down to, do you trust Jake Browning or do you trust the Browns' backup quarterback situation more? I think the Browns' defense is better than Cincinnati's is, but let's not write the Bengals' defense off by any stretch of the imagination. Pittsburgh, not out of the race. I haven't been inspired by them really at all, but who am I to write off Mike Tomlin with 2 games to go? So much of that Steelers and Bengals game, Strick, is only, impactful in really 2 divisions. It's impactful in the AFC North, in the AFC South, because you have Cincinnati sitting at where'd the records go? Yeah, they're sitting there at 8-6 with Cleveland at 9-5. In the AFC South, you have 3 teams sitting at 8-6. You have Jacksonville, Indianapolis, and Houston all at 8-6 with 3 games to play. This one's huge. I guess you can throw Denver into that mix and the Raiders with an outside shot sitting at 6-8. But really, to me, it comes down to Browns and Bengals, and then the 2 second and third place teams in the AFC South. Those to me are the teams that are, rooting very, very hard for, say, Detroit against Minnesota over the weekend. That's a game that I think is really interesting there in the NFC North. They're rooting for, where's that other game? Yeah, like Cleveland and Houston. For the Colts is a no-win situation because either Cleveland gains a game on you or Houston, puts the pressure on you to win because they're in your division. You look at Tampa Bay and Jacksonville, that interstate matchup there. Yeah, I'm rooting for Tampa Bay all the way in that one. I mean, Jacksonville, I think, is the better team, but if you're a Colts fan, you want Tampa Bay to win. You want both. You want a tie in Cleveland and Houston. You want a 17-17 play, 70 minutes of football and nobody come out ahead at the end of the day there. You even want, I think, Kansas City to beat Las Vegas just to keep them down, push them to 9 losses where they're basically out of the field. It is such a jumbled picture in the AFC that as a Colts fan, I change who I root for on a weekly basis now.
Yeah, and that's crazy. And so here's two games right now that just kind of keeps you in the mix of things, in the thick of things. But you got to go on the road to do it. So the Colts have to go on the road to the Falcons to do it. The Seahawks have to go on the road to the Titans to do it. Both of them kind of with similar records. But you just got to go out there and do what you got to do if you even want to stay in the mix of it. So we don't necessarily have to delve into those games because I want to get to this one. Because this one could solidify everything for the Detroit Lions. Having to go on the road to Minnesota, tough place to play for them, but they're used to being in domes. They're used to being in enclosed environments. They're going to go out to US Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. They could seal the deal with this win. Do they get it done? And do you believe in Jared Goff?
Those are two wildly, wildly different questions. Do I believe in Jared Goff? I believe in Jared Goff as a top 16 quarterback in the NFL. I don't know if I'm willing to say much more than that at this point. Jared Goff is better than people give him credit for. He's absolutely a system guy. Like, I firmly believe that from his time with Los Angeles and now with Detroit. But let's not knock the guy for finding a coach who's willing to put that system around him in Dan Campbell and Ben Johnson and the way that Detroit's moving. Minnesota is fighting for its playoff life at this point. Detroit still clings to that really outside shot at the 1 seed here. I think finishing, anywhere in that top 3 is a win for Detroit. The Vikings, I wrote off, Strick. I thought they were, left for dead the way they started the year. I don't like their quarterback situation. I mean, Dobbs had that couple week stretch where he was good. Mullins played a good game last week, but it really feels like they're, throwing all the balls up in the air at the circus, just trying to land with the right one on a week-to-week basis, kind of juggling it like a fantasy football lineup at this point. So I think I have more institutional trust in Detroit on a this season basis, but they're still the Lions, and the Vikings are fighting for their playoff lives. So I wouldn't be shocked if this is a 1-possession game down to the wire.
2 more I want to talk about. The main one I'm going to talk about, I think you know where I'm going, because one of our hosts there on the early side of things would want to talk about this one in great detail, but we're going to hold that one off for a second because I think this one is a tremendous opportunity for the young CJ Stroud, who is having a phenomenal season with 3,631 yards, 20 TDs, and only 5 INTs. But he's at home against a very, very strong, powerful, and staunch defense in the Cleveland Browns. Both of them need to get it done. Texas 5-2 at home, Cleveland Browns 2-4 on the road. Is CJ Stroud ready for the big moment?
CJ Stroud might not play. He still has lingering effects from the concussion, which is the problem. This is he's not
going to be ready.
It's not looking like it. They'll have to probably turn to Case Keenum again, if not Davis Mills. I would have loved to have seen, just as a football fan, CJ Stroud in this matchup against that Browns defense. How does he step up in the pocket against Myles Garrett? How does he handle those defensive backs in the defensive scheme that Cleveland has? It's a very, very outside shot that he's going to play with the lingering effects from the concussion. So Houston found a way to get it done last week to, really rise from the dead against Tennessee. I just think this Browns defense is too good for too many backup quarterbacks. So it's going to have to be the defense for Houston that hangs in there. I guess I'm pulling for Cleveland to get this one just because the easiest path to the playoffs is always by winning your division. So if Tampa Bay and Cleveland win, and then Indianapolis takes care of business. They're a game up at this point. But again, I think this is going to be a defensive battle, and that Houston defense, which has gotten shredded a couple times, is really going to have to step up big if CJ Stroud is indeed not playing.
Well, here it is. Final on Fox, 12/24, the Christmas Eve at 3:25. The Dallas Cowboys go down to the sunny state of Florida to face the Miami Dolphins, who are 6-1 at home. And the Cowboys have struggled on the road. Big loss against the Bills last week. Now have to go and face the Dolphins, who is a revved up engine. Dak Prescott, does he keep in control of the game? Is he able to get the job done? Or does the powerhouse offense of the Dolphins wear them out? How do you view this game? Where do you see it going? And are the Dallas Cowboys about to fall off a little bit, giving space and room for the Eagles, who have lost 3 straight, to kind of, have the head position going into that division?
Were you on the stream for weekend picks? Did you hear who I picked in this game?
No.
All right. I went with the Cowboys. I think the Cowboys find a way to get this one done. I think they're a little humiliated after what the Bills did to them last week. Just ran it right down their throats time and again. I don't think Dallas can stand to have that happen again. Miami, with Mostert and a chain, is obviously a solid running team, but Miami still struggles with teams that have talent, right? A lot of their wins come against teams that are, 500 or worse this year. I still don't fully trust Miami. Not that I fully trust the Cowboys either, for that matter. I just think Dallas bounces back. 2 straight road games for them. I will take the Cowboys on the road, leaving more questions to answer about Miami and keeping the Cowboys in the thick of things in the NFC.
Well, I think that about sums it up right there for the NFL preview of the weekend. It's got some good games out there. There's also some games that just don't have any implications. They're going to be out there, but
can I throw one more out to you?
Get it.
Okay, the Christmas Day game. Baltimore, San Francisco.
I knew you was going to do that, but we're going to talk about that, I thought, on Monday. That's why I left it alone. But go ahead.
We're not here on Monday, Ricky. We're here on Tuesday.
Oh, that's right. Okay, go ahead. Let's get it.
I'll just throw some quick thoughts out there on this. These right now are your 1 seeds in their respective conferences. Baltimore in the AFC, San Francisco in the NFC. I don't know if this is the MVP elimination game, but Lamar Jackson has been balling for the 1 seed in the AFC. Sneaky under the radar, Strick. Brock Purdy, as a system guy, has elite numbers this year, right? He's not just captain checkdown. He is making plays with his arm. Yes, it helps to have talent around him, but I think there are a lot of MVP voters across the country who are looking at whichever quarterback's team wins this game gets their vote for MVP. Whether that's right or wrong, we can, debate later on, but this is a huge game for Lamar Jackson to say, I can do this against a good defense. And it's a big game for Brock Purdy to say, hey, I'm here. I'm still legit, right? I don't think either quarterback needs to take this game into their own hands necessarily. But I think for some people, this is your MVP decider on Christmas Day.
Wow. Hey, listen, I like that. I like that take. Great summary of what's going on and what's ahead in the NFL schedule over the weekend, as well as on Monday. Obviously, as Austin said, thank you for reminding me that I don't have to check in on Monday. But we're going to get into the NBA side of things as well. We're going to talk a little bit about the preview of maybe some of the games that you may want to put your eyes on or have interest in. Shout out to the Minnesota Timberwolves, who are just taking care of business out there, handling things with the number 1 seed in the basically position in the West, which a lot of people probably didn't expect that. But we'll talk a little bit more about that when we come back on the other side of the break. 937 The Ticket, ticketfm.com.
Sunday morning. It's quiet, not in a weird, too quiet way. Calm, peaceful, tranquil. You pour yourself that cup of coffee. You slice yourself a hearty chunk of one of Beatrice Bakery's breakfast breads. Now, maybe you're an apple streusel guy. Nothing wrong with that. I can respect that. Personally, I'm a turtle nut man. Something about those pecans. But the real ones know, don't sleep on that date nut bread. Sweet, but not too sweet. Nutty, not overly. The perfect morning treat. Beatrice Bakery. Online at beatricebakery.com. Welcome to our world of yum.
Southeast Community College invites you to check out our spaces ahead of your official campus visit. Our virtual campus tours let you see our campuses and learn more about our programs of study. Then you can schedule your individual visit in person or virtually. Virtual tours of our campuses in Beatrice, Lincoln, or Milford, and our learning centers are online at southeast.edu/visit SCC. SCC, your path to possible.
Liberty Law Group is committed to the defense of liberty for those accused and the pursuit of justice for those injured. Liberty Law Group's relentless trial attorneys specialize in criminal defense and personal injury law. We believe in treating every client with respect, compassion, and understanding. We know that navigating the legal system is stressful and overwhelming, but Liberty Law Group will carry that burden for you. When you're facing legal issues, make the right call. 877-42-LIBERTY. That's 877-42-LIBERTY.
At Koppel, during the holidays, we take time to cherish our terrific staff, community, and loyal customers that continue to drive that money-saving mile to Louisville, Nebraska. Hi, this is Sean Callahan. I can proudly say I bought my car at Koppel. If you are in the area, I invite you to stop by Koppel Chevrolet GMC's offices in Louisville or check them out online at koppelcars.com. On behalf of Koppel Chevrolet GMC, Merry Christmas and safe travels to all.
If you're in Seward or Milford, listen up. Select Plumbing is now servicing your area with no trip charges from Lincoln. Select Plumbing works on a variety of issues for your home and business, including general plumbing, water heaters, faucet and fixture repair, underground sewer and water repairs, backflow testing, and more. Keep your property free from leaks and other issues. Call today for a free estimate, 402-560-6197. It's not just Lincoln, Waverly, and the surrounding area anymore. It's also Seward and Milford with no trip charges. Contact Select Plumbing to inquire at 402-560-6197.
Gray Diesel and Equipment Services is your go-to place in Lincoln for repairs and maintenance for diesel pickups to Class 8 over-the-road trucks and trailers, from bumper pole utility to full-size semi. Gray performs DOT inspections and are a service provider for fleet companies like ARI, Element Fleet, and FleetNet. They're a family-owned business in operation since 1952, and they keep a clean, friendly shop. Customer service is their top priority. Give Gray Diesel and Equipment Services a visit today with easy access just off I-80 and North 56th Street.
At Fairway Meat Market, your family. And as part of the family, they want to save you money on your meat and groceries. The holidays are here, and Fairway has everything you need for charcuterie boards, shrimp trays, party platters, wine, beer, spirits, and more. Plus, custom fresh cuts on USDA choice or prime grade beef, all-natural pork, fresh chicken, and seafood. Your holiday meals start at Fairway Meat Market in the Rockledge Square Shopping Center just south of 84th and Van Dorn.
Get rid of pesky critters once and for all with Bats to Rats. Their expert team is here to help you reclaim your home. No more sleepless nights caused by crawling critters or flapping wings. Bats to Rats ensures a safe environment for every family member. Check the website at batstoRats.com for amazing offers, and if you mention this ad, you'll receive $10 off your initial inspection cost. Don't allow uninvited guests to take over your home. Trust Bats to Rats for a peaceful and rodent-free living space.
If your home heating system is making strange noises or just doesn't work like it should, call your friends at Bryant Air Conditioning and Heating. Sign up for Bryant's exclusive ESP service protection plan. You'll get twice annual complete and thorough service on all brands, and you'll never pay overtime charges on evenings, weekends, or holidays. Schedule your heating check today and ask about Bryant's ESP plan to save money. Call 467-1111 or go to BryantLincoln.com. Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing. We do whatever it takes.
There's only one place this holiday season to shop for the sports fan in your life and get cash back for slightly used sports items you don't need anymore. Play It Again Sports. Check out their selection of new and used items, including home fitness equipment like treadmills, exercise bikes, and ellipticals. And get your lift with free weights, benches, and racks to add to your home gym. And don't forget, if you have anything slightly used to trade in, they'll give you instant cash. Holiday shopping starts and ends at Play It Again Sports at 48th and Vine.
Integrated Life Choices has been inspiring opportunities for individuals with disabilities for more than 15 years in Lincoln and across Nebraska by offering a number of services. From group homes to independent living resources and job training, you'll find the support that allows people to live fulfilling lives. They're also hiring. If you're looking for a rewarding career supporting people with developmental disabilities, you can check out open positions along with learning more about services at ilc.net. Integrated Life Choices.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL Weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, expecting some areas of dense fog this morning. Then eventually we'll see mostly sunny skies this afternoon. We'll see a high around 53. Tonight, mainly clear skies with a low around 32. And tomorrow's more patchy fog possible in the morning. Then we'll see partly sunny skies for the afternoon. We'll see a high around 58. I'm meteorologist Kyle Klecker for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Now back to On the Block with Strick and Austin on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We're back on the block. Austin Norman and Erick Strickland with you. Our show, of course, proudly presented by Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul. Stricky, you mentioned it. We'll dive into the NBA here. A busy weekend slate, whether you're looking at Christmas Eve or specifically Christmas Day. Well, I guess nothing on Christmas Eve, no Sunday games, but there's 5 games then on Christmas Day. Before we jump into what those games are, it's a lot of big name teams. It's good teams. I think they're pretty marquee matchups here. One nitpick is I wish the NBA would have carved out room, maybe, moved one of these games to Monday to make room for like a surprise team, a team that you didn't expect to be good before the year, because we mentioned in the open that this is a day where you can get a lot of casual fans, right? The hardcore fans that are always going to be sitting down watching, but the NBA is really going to run Christmas Day along with some of those NFL games as well. If I'm the NBA, I get why I have, Boston, Los Angeles, why I have the Knicks play every year, kind of like the Cowboys, why it's, Steph Curry against the defending champion Nuggets, games like that. I wish there would have been room for the Thunder, who are really surprising this year, who've taken that leap. I wish there was room for a Minnesota that you mentioned before we went to break, or an Orlando, because yes, it's good to feature the marquee teams. I get it. The markets are bigger. But I think introducing some of these casual fans to these lesser known names can help the NBA build that next generation of stars, whether it's a Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and Chet Holmgren, whether it's an Anthony Edwards, Apollo Banchero and Franz Wagner. I wish that one of the 5 games would have been reserved for a team like one of those 3 I just mentioned.
It's funny that you say that, but I would have to agree with you. And there's where that business model and the money model plays in. But also, you've got to look at where they're at in positioning. Now, this is also in the past. I think they need to shift that once they get this new TV revenue deal done. They need to start shifting that, because they're going to have to raise their level. I mean, it just depends on how you view the NBA, the in-season playoff game. It's how you view whether or not these teams that have emerged and have surprised people, but they have young stars, and you have to find that next generation. The ones that you put your, balls in the hat and hoped for, they're not panning out. Your Zion Williamson is not panning out the way that you would hope to. Then you had the Ja Morant. So now listen, Ja Morant is coming out like gangbusters and is doing his thing. But it's very similar to Kobe when Kobe went through that situation that he unfortunately went through. There was a period where, you just let him play, and he wasn't really doing much talking. He just used his play, and then ultimately was able to get through that situation. I think Ja Morant's in a very similar situation there. You just got to play, stay under the radar, keep your mouth shut, just do your thing, and let your play speak for you if you want to reemerge as one of those type of faces for the league. Now, again, the rest of the league is the faces of them are international players. Luka Doncic, Jokic,
Giannis,
Tutukumbo, Giannis, yeah.
Even
so a lot of those
Canadian.
Exactly. So that's another thing that you've got to look at. And then, like you say, and then with them, Josh Giddey, and then Giddey has situations that he's dealing with right now. So they're trying to find that. They're hoping that they can find it here. The Warriors aren't who the Warriors used to be. So you would wonder why that is happening, but obviously it's because of Steph Curry. Then, the Knicks, they have a few good places there, a few good pieces. That's just the market situation. The Celtics is because you're hoping that Jason Tatum can take that step, but because he's still kind of like a quiet guy, he's very much like, Kevin Durant to me, as far as just goes out and play, really no nonsense. Don't do a lot of talking, but they need somebody to do that. So he comes across as that. But now here's the problem with Minnesota. You got the situation now with Anthony Edwards. So it's like every time you're trying to find someone to step up and fill that void, it's like a scandal pops up, something comes out about them. And, Devin Booker is probably on the other guy, but I don't know if his play, you would say, is on that level. And then Embiid, who is another MVP, who's killing the game right now, averaging 35 points a game, 11 rebounds, and 6 assists, killing the game. He is also a foreigner. So it's like, where do you go, man? Where do you go? But I understand why they're doing what they're doing. It's really a viewership thing. They're really doing a lot of the stuff that they're doing this year, trying to secure a larger TV revenue deal. And it's probably not going to be with ESPN because just ESPN, they're falling off the map right now. Who is it going to be with? We don't know.
Let's just go through these games really quick, just a note or two on each of them. The first game of the day is the Bucks at the Knicks. The Knicks are kind of an afterthought in their own division right now with Boston and Philly ahead of them. Probably comparable to Brooklyn. Brooklyn's still trying to find itself, but the Knicks are, I think, a solid playoff team. My biggest question for you in this matchup, Strick, is what are your early impressions of the Dame Lillard-Giannis pairing?
For me, I still, Dame's assist numbers are solid. His assist to turnover ratio is great. You like to see that for him. But I'm going to be honest. I'm surprised Dame isn't doing what I would have expected him to do and being the type of player what I've expected to be for them. It's a lot of roller coaster rides. It's some where he shows up huge, and then there's some that he doesn't. So I don't know if they're just still trying to find that balance or whatever the case may be. I just still don't know. But I think by maybe after the All-Star break, then I'll take a reevaluation and look at it with different eyes.
Golden State and Denver, this one being played at the Pepsi Arena there in Denver. The Nuggets are just plugging right along, Strick. Business as usual for them. They've, won plenty more games than they've lost. I'm not necessarily as excited by Denver this year as I was last year. Jokic is still putting up numbers. Jamal Murray has still been pretty solid. Denver, I think, is just going to end up in that, 2-3-4 range in the West. Do you trust their championship pedigree to get them to the West Finals and beyond, or are they a second round kind of team this year, do you think?
No, I think they still have what it takes. They're going to need those new faces, and they still have a lot of the old faces, but they're still going to need the consistency there, guys to step up, guys to begin to play at higher levels when they need them. So right now it's definitely Jokic, it's definitely Murray. We know who the 1-2 combination is, and then who that third guy is. We're gonna still, that's gonna just happen probably from a game-to-game basis. And right now they're, like you're saying, they're just handling business. They're just trudging along, not doing too anything crazy. They're winning at home like they're supposed to, and Jokic is almost averaging a triple-double. Freaking as a center, it's blowing me away at what he's doing. It's crazy, bro.
The next game I think makes the most sense to have on Christmas Day. Celtics-Lakers, one of the best rivalries in NBA history. Strick, Boston is a half game up on Milwaukee for the best record in the East, but I don't think people are going to let that meltdown they had against the Warriors out of mind anytime soon. You mentioned, is Tatum able to take that next step? Is Jaylen Brown the right guy to have alongside them? Drew Holiday has been kind of anonymous in Boston right now, and we haven't heard a whole lot even from Porzingis, right? So even though Boston's the 1 seed in the East, and we know what talent they have, I don't think anyone in the East is truly scared of Boston and will force the Celtics to beat them in any playoff series.
Exactly. Because again, outside of the New York Knicks, Porzingis, if they don't get him, that guy, then I'm definitely not scared of them in any form or fashion, right? Drew Holiday, if he doesn't emerge and be a good 5 or good 4 guy, where he's just able to spot up, knock down shots, because one thing you can't say about Marcus Smart is that he can stand there on the perimeter, and if you kick it out to him, he can knock you down one, but he's going to give you that same defensive intensity. If you're only just relying on Drew Holiday to give you the defensive side of things without that, knockdown scoring ability or that transition part of you that you would want from that guard position, then it's really a moot point, and I don't think I'm worried about what that team's going to be able to do to me. Again, when you get into the playoffs with Jaylen Brown, I'm forcing him left. I mean, the scouting report ultimately will catch up with that group, and if he hasn't done anything and put in the work on that, then they're just going to continue to get there to a point and fall out.
2 more games to get through here in just a few minutes. We've got Philadelphia and Miami. Miami, of course, we talked a lot about over the offseason, missing out, falling short in, not offering enough in the Dame Lillard sweepstakes. So it's still Jimmy Bucket's team. Bam Adebayo's doing his thing. Joel Embiid, probably the story for the Sixers. Maxi's been solid, but Embiid Strick is averaging more points per game than minutes per game, which is absolutely insane. He is feasting against some of these lower end teams. I think this is going to be a tough physical drag out kind of battle. I don't love the Heat's firepower. I think you give Philadelphia the edge in this one, but being in Miami on Christmas Day with a night off before, I might pick the Miami nightlife to beat Philadelphia in this one.
Oh, with that time and that space, and just over the eve of Christmas, and you're away from home. You know what I mean? It's I don't know if I like that recipe for trying to go out and get a win. Now, what I'm thinking about, I like Tyrese Maxey. I think if Tyrese Maxey just continues to be a good second, a Robin to Embiid's Batman. I mean, he's got 7 assists and hit 26 points a game, and he's shooting a high clip. I think if he continues to do that, they still remain dangerous. It's just a matter of who's going to be their third guy. And it's hard to say on that team who's actually going to be that third guy for them. I don't know who it is on a consistent basis. And so until I know a little bit more and start to see a little bit more, I'm a little bit worried about them. I mean, they got a solid team, and then you have the situation with Kelly Oubre with, whether or not he was on a bike and all kinds of stuff. And to me, they don't really have a third guy that I just really feel good about. Very good combination. Exactly. That's what you would hope it would be, but he's not it. So they don't really have a third guy that can really take off some of that.
The final game, the nightcap is the Mavericks at the Suns. 2 completely opposite styles of team building. Dallas made the trade for Kyrie Irving last year. He's been in and out of the lineup. It's really been the Luka Doncic show. I do have to shout out my former Duke Blue Devil, Derek Lively, and the great work he did before he went down with an ankle sprain, both as that lob threat and defensively. But Strick, for Phoenix, they haven't had all 3 of their stars in Durant, Booker, and Beal on the court at the same time yet this year, outside of maybe 1 game. I get the gamble that Phoenix had to make. I'm not sold on Frank Vogel as the head coach out there. This is a fascinating game, just if you look at how these 2 teams were built, how they decide to go about constructing their rosters. I think I give Dallas the edge in this one, even though it's at home, just because Luka, like we talked about on Tuesday, has been on such a tear offensively.
Luka, 33 points, shooting almost 50% from the field, 8 rebounds at the guard position. Now let's just think about that. And 9 assists a game. He's almost like a Jokic in a sense. But we talked about his style of play. I'm looking at who's going to match up with him, right? That's the part that I'm trying to figure out now. Listen, I like the Nurkic situation. It's just if they could have had Bradley Beal and then you look at Nurkic throwing him into the mix, I think they could have been dangerous. But not having all of them together, Devin Booker has picked up the slack that Chris Paul left in the assist department. He's doing his thing, averaging almost 8 assists a game as far as that's concerned. Kevin Durant is back up in there with the scoring leaders, over 30 points a game for himself. But again, he's shooting high clips, both from the free throw line, 3-point line, and from 2. His mid-range, he's a Slim Reaper, like the original Slim Reaper. Getting mid-range killer, he's doing his thing. Now, here's the thing. It's nice out there in Phoenix. Is it going to be a golf night, or is it going to be a hangout at the spot night? That's something to watch for them as well, because they've got a lot of young players that might want to get out there and have a good time as well.
Great 5-game NBA Christmas Day slate. I know Stricky will have eyes on it. I will as well. We'll take one final break for our week here during On the Block. We'll wrap up the show in just a sec. At Fairway Meat Market, your family. And as part of the family, they want to save you money on your meat and groceries. The holidays are here, and Fairway has everything you need for charcuterie boards, shrimp trays, party platters, wine, beer, spirits, and more. Plus, custom fresh cuts on USDA choice or prime grade beef, all-natural pork, fresh chicken, and seafood. Your holiday meals start at Fairway Meat Market in the Rockledge Square Shopping Center just south of 84th and Van Dorn.
Attention all Wings fans. 89-cent wings are back on Tuesdays at Buffalo Wings and Rings in Lincoln. Enjoy the best wings in town for boneless or traditional at a price that makes the whole family happy. And now at the Williamsburg Village Wings and Rings, you can enjoy $1.50 tall boys in Bud Light, Coors Light, Busch Light, and Michelob Ultra every day after 7 p.m. and all day on Sundays. Get to Wings and Rings today and make sure to stop by on Tuesdays for 89-cent wings. If you're in Seward or Milford, listen up. Select Plumbing is now servicing your area with no trip charges from Lincoln. Select Plumbing works on a variety of issues for your home and business, including general plumbing, water heaters, faucet and fixture repair, underground sewer and water repairs, backflow testing, and more. Keep your property free from leaks and other issues. Call today for a free estimate, 402-560-6197. It's not just Lincoln, Waverly, and the surrounding area anymore. It's also Seward and Milford with no trip charges. Contact Select Plumbing to inquire at 402-560-6197. Erick Services takes this time to wish everyone a Merry Christmas and Happy Holiday Season. They are thankful for many things this year and every year, and hope that everyone is able to enjoy time with family and friends during this joyful celebration. This important message comes to you from Bart and the folks at Erick Services, your vending specialists here in Lincoln. Their quality service and expertise has earned them a fine reputation. That's Erick Services, on the air because they care.
New year, new career. The new year is just around the corner. Why not start it off strong with a new career? General Excavating is looking for qualified underground utility project managers. Check out our website, generalexcavating.com, or call 402-467-1627 for more information. Happy holidays from General Excavating.
Are you tired of living in pain? It's time to take control. At Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery, we're your one-stop shop for expert care in Lincoln. From broken bones to complex reconstruction, our skilled team will help you get back on track. Visit prairieortho.com today and discover why we're the trusted choice for thousands of patients. Don't let pain hold you back. Take the first step towards a better pain-free life with Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery, where healing begins. Call 402-489-4700.
Your home is your empire. Protect it with Empire Fence. Get a free instant quote with the online estimating tool at empire-fence.com. See an upfront estimate with no hidden fees. An Empire Fence can provide privacy and improve the appearance of your home. Keep kids and pets in or out of your yard. Increase security and add value to your property. Visit empire-fence.com now to view the stylish and maintenance-free possibilities for your home and get a free instant online quote. Let Empire Fence protect your empire.
Where will your path take you, traveler? To seek fortune in a new career? Or on a journey to distant lands for a well-deserved vacation? Wherever you go, one distraction could spell disaster. You can change your fate, adventurer. Don't drive distracted. Paid for by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
Now back to On the Block with Strick and Austin on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
One final segment for the week. Austin Norman and Erick Strickland with you 2 to 4 every day this week. We'll wrap it up here with a crossover with the old school crew. Just Jay Foreman in here with us. Jay, what's good? How you doing?
Doing all right, man. It started out kind of cold today. Now we got a little heat wave, so it's all good in the hood.
Amen to that. Stricky and I just got done talking a little NBA Christmas Day. Were you playing any Christmas Day, Christmas Eve games in the NFL?
No. I played the one after Christmas, and that's the one when I missed the bus. But I would say I didn't have a hangover. I didn't have a hangover. I was inactive.
Yeah, right.
I was inactive. We were playing on the road up in New England, and I didn't take I usually took the early bus, but I was inactive.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, all right, I'll just take the late bus. I got my numbers mixed up. Brother was in that cab, boy. I ain't never been so scared in my life.
To be fair, I didn't mean like actual like alcohol hangovers. I meant like the Christmas kind of days. The
I
delays
mean, yeah,
after
it was.
but,
I was a rookie. You know, when I didn't kick it or anything.
That's funny.
That's what he say now.
BS.
I wish I was. That would have been a good excuse, but nah, there's nothing popping up there in New England at Foxborough. Trust me.
Stricky and I were talking some NBA. We'll get your thoughts on this. If you look at the 5 NBA Christmas Day games, you got Milwaukee, New York, Golden State, Denver, Boston, Los Angeles, Philly, Miami, Dallas, and Phoenix. And we know your Lakers affinity.
Mm-hmm.
Outside of that game, which game are you watching?
Man, they're good games, but they're not, right? Because I mean, Milwaukee probably. I would say Milwaukee, New York, because I think New York's maybe exceeding expectations. They don't have a superstar, but Brunson's playing well. Randall's kind of making a resurgence, and then obviously Giannis and Dame. Golden State is struggling. Denver's just kind of plodding along, and I'm not sold on Philly, even though Embiid just had a 50-burger. I'm not sold on them. And then I think that 9:30 game would be good if everybody's healthy, you know, or at least on Phoenix guys if they're healthy. I think that'll be a good nightcap.
What's coming up on Old School then?
We're going to do heavy in the NFL, and you get our picks in. And, we had a game last night. And then, obviously, some pressure-packed weekend on the NFL side. And then this 5 o'clock hour, we're going to, I'm going to replay the dive-in of Behind the Huddle. Send everybody off into the weekend about the recruiting class, so forth and so on. Tell how I got to Nebraska, the short version, the Cliff Notes version. I used to love Cliff Notes. Strick, Strick, did you ever use Cliff Notes?
That I did, my boy.
Yes, hey, man. I'm going to tell you, the first 3 or 4 times I did use Cliff Notes, right on point. I think I got into a class where you needed the Cliff Notes and you had to do some work. Hey, got left at the altar. Just, Strick, I thought I was going to walk in there and had the Cliff Notes like highlighted. Oh, I got this. I was like, man, ain't nothing on this test. hey, Strick, I just say, hey, I got to take this pass-fail. I got to stay in that business college. Pass-fail, emergency. I call Dennis LeBlanc at 8 at night. This ain't working good.
Yeah, man.
That's funny. Stricky, thanks for jumping on remote. Have a very Merry Christmas. Safe travels,
Strick,
my friend.
Yeah, safe travels, man. Tell your dad and your family, man, have a, like we say out there in D.C., have a merry and a happy, my brother.
Bless, man. Happy holidays to you and yours as well, man. Y'all do the same. I'll see y'all soon. Love y'all, man, and look forward to a great 2024 at 937 The Ticket. On the block and Old School, doggone it.
There it is. Stricky's out.
Stricky, we'll see you. Merry Christmas, happy holidays to the rest of you. On the block, we'll be back with you on Tuesday. But for now, we'll take a break, turn it over to Jay and Old School in just a sec.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Erick Services takes this time to wish everyone a Merry Christmas and Happy Holiday Season. They are thankful for many things this year and every year, and hope that everyone is able to enjoy time with family and friends during this joyful celebration. This important message comes to you from Bart and the folks at Erick Services, your vending specialists here in Lincoln. Their quality service and expertise has earned them a fine reputation. That's Erick Services, on the air because they care. Golfing in 72 degrees and perfect conditions in Nebraska doesn't seem possible in December, but it is. Double Eagle Golf is your escape from the bone-chilling cold outside and a reason to keep your clubs out year-round. Book your holiday parties at Double Eagle Golf and make plans to join them for a New Year's Eve party. Gift cards make a great stocking stuffer for Christmas, and don't forget to look ahead to 2024 as spring leagues begin in February. That's all at Double Eagle Golf inside the Kinetic Sports Complex on West O Street. Online at doubleeagle.golf.
Hi, everyone. Kendall Warnock with A1 Automotive in downtown Lincoln. If you're looking for an automotive repair facility you can genuinely trust, We would be grateful for the opportunity to earn your business repairing your vehicle. We have ASE master technicians and qualified to work on a variety of vehicles from Hondas to Porsches, Jaguars to Toyotas, and Chevrolets to Fords. We pride ourselves on customer service and relationships, and we would be grateful for the opportunity to serve you. Give us a call at 402-477-4660. A1 Automotive, always honest answers.
Concrete Industries, a Nebco company, has immediate job openings for precast production laborers. Concrete Industries offers great pay, health benefits, 401k, a wellness program, holidays, and paid time off. Apply today to earn a starting pay of $20 per hour and a $1,500 hiring bonus. Concrete Industries is hiring all experience levels and offers on-the-job training. Start your career today as a precast production laborer. Visit concreteindustries.com.